All right, so our new continent that we are working on is Africa. All right, so we left Europe and went down south to the big continent of Africa. Welcome to Africa. Africa is a continent that has more than 50 countries. So it's a big continent with 50 countries. And this is a picture of water buffalo. If you remember Larry the Cucumber song about his water buffalo. Okay, that was buffalo drinking at the water hole. And here is a piece or a picture of Africa. It's the largest piece of land on Earth. The largest piece of land on Earth are called continents. There are 7. So let's review our 7. North America, where we live. South America. Then we did Europe and Africa. Next we'll move to Asia and Australia, and we have studied our icy one at the bottom, Antarctica. So we're doing the yellow one, this big piece right here, which is Africa. So the largest pieces of land on Earth are the continents, and then the rest of the world is surrounded by the blue stuff, water, right? Okay, Africa was the yellow continent on that map. People of Africa. Many people live in Africa. Some live in cities. Cairo is Africa's largest city that is in Egypt. These children go to school in Cairo. All right, so you can kind of see they have uniforms, but their uniforms are quite different than ours. But they go to school. Some Africans work on farms. They grow corn, rice, and other crops. All right. So this looks like she's going to work on a corn farm. And she's carrying her little one on her back there. Children play soccer in villages, cities, and on the beach. Soccer is the most popular sport in Africa, and they call it football. There's some kids playing it on the beach in South Africa near Cape Town. Africa has deserts. The Sahara Desert is the world's largest desert. It is very hot and dry. So the Sahara Desert is up in the top part of Africa, and it is hot and dry. It's the hottest desert. And if you notice what animals are walking across the desert, the camels, because they can go across large places without needing a lot of water. Africa has a grassy place called the savannas, which is what we are studying in our habitats. Savannas have wet seasons and dry seasons. Okay, there's a tree in the middle and the blue sky. You can imagine the zebras and the giraffes coming, sitting under the tree. There are also rainforests in Africa. In the rainforest, it rains almost every day, okay? Therefore, look at the plants. So we've had 3 different types of habitats in Africa. We have the desert, and then parts of Africa are the savannas, where it's more of the dry grasslands. And then the rainforest is also in Africa. So that big continent has 3 different types of habitats so far. Amazing animals. Africa is famous for its wild animals. In the rainforest part, the gorillas live. So this is a silverback gorilla that you find in the rainforest of Africa. Zebras and giraffes live in the savannas, okay? And we're learning about the savannas right now. Water and land. The Nile River is in Africa. It's the world's largest river. People live near rivers because they need to get water. So here's some ladies filling up their water jugs. Kilimanjaro is Africa's tallest mountain. People climb this mountain. They visit Africa to see the amazing animals, people, and places. Okay? All right, modern marvels. The Library of Alexandria is in Africa. It's a very modern building. It has both sharp angles and smooth curves. Columns hold up the part of the building. The Library of Alexandria can hold millions of books. It also has an art gallery, and inside of it, it also has a museum. Okay, can you find the rectangular shape in this building? So, when you look, see if you can find the rectangular shape. Thinking across the top here is a rectangle. All right, and how many pillars or columns do you see? So pillars or columns are what hold up the building. So let's see if you can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 is what I can see. There might be a few farther back that we can't really see. And if you built a new library, what shape would you want that library to be? Because there are some, see here, it's kind of like a triangle. So there are some different shapes on this building. So what kind of shape do you think you would want your library to be? A meerkat. Meerkats live together in a family group. Meerkat families work together to gather food and raise their young. You can find the meerkats on African savannas and also in Madagascar, I believe. They were in that movie. All right, words that you should know. Desert, so the hot, dry place. The gorilla. Mountain, so remember Mount Kilimanjaro is in Africa. It's the tallest mountain peak in Africa. And savanna is another habitat. So, and the rainforest, which you can find the gorilla. So Africa has many different types of habitats that we will be able to learn about. So Africa is a very large continent with 50 individual countries in it, and each country will have its own, more than one language in many cases, will have its own language and culture and its tribal languages and many different ways they dress and many different things that they like to do. But one thing that I like is the music. And so we're going to be learning about playing drums while we're learning about our African country. So if you don't have your own homemade drum at home, this is what you can use. An old coffee filter makes a perfect drum that you can tap on and get rhythm and beat from and tone out of it. So if you don't have your own homemade drum, then you can make one out of an empty coffee container or lemonade container, something that you can bang on, even a box. So when you're done with this introductory video about Africa, I'm going to be putting up an introductory video on African drums, okay? He's going to talk about 2 drums, and then next week we're going to have some rhythms from this person putting out that video. But today he gives you how to call a king. If a king was coming into the city, there's a certain way you drum to call the king. So I want you to practice that. And then if you want to send me a video, that would be a good video for you to send me this week, is of you playing a drum instrument that either you have or you made, and you're playing to call the king in. All right? So have fun with that assignment.